Hello, how are you? I want to do a second part. Well, maybe not a second part, but I want to talk about Antichrist today. I don't know if I started it in my last video. I think I did talk a little bit about it. And I don't remember if I related it to dispensationalism. Most ideas about the Antichrist that is circulating out there today is based on this false definition of Antichrist from dispensationalism. Even people who say, oh, we don't believe in dispensationalism, are still stuck in that belief. Who this Antichrist is, I have made a video, look under dispensationalism, and I talked about where that idea originated by a Francisco Ribera in 1500, Catholic, Jesuit. And please, if you want to see that video, go under dispensationalism. You should find it. That's where this idea about what we have today about Antichrist is coming from. And this idea or this definition is the Antichrist is a ruler that comes at the end. And many believe it during a 7-year tribulation time. Many believe this Antichrist is the man of sin of 2 Thessalonians 2. I have already said that Martin Luther called the Pope Antichrist, simply because he may have realized that the Pope is the little horn from Daniel 7, and that he is Babylon the Great, and that he is actually also this man of sin. But he called him Antichrist. I don't know why. Cover up, whatever, I don't know. And because of that, this Francisco Ribera wrote this book and circulated this false definition of what Antichrist is. And that took then, 500 years before, or 400 before it got into dispensationalism, and then into the Protestant churches. It was Satan's goal to do that. So this is what we have today. And even most people that have no idea about end times theology, some may not even be Christians, have that idea in mind. So yes, these, even the worldly people, when they think about Antichrist, they think about this end times ruler. Again, this Antichrist puts himself in the church, well, not the church, the temple of God. Okay, that's what 1 Thessalonians 2 says. He puts himself into the temple of God, and if you really are a true follower of God, you know who the temple of God truly is. Okay, that is the church. Nothing else. It's not a temple that's made by hand. I've done a study, biblical study about that, showed it very clearly. Old Testament, New Testament, Ephesians 2 is one of them you can look at if you really want to know. Ephesians 2, who the true temple of God is. It's not a stone temple. And so this man of sin will put himself into the temple, the true temple of God, not a stone temple. And this is exactly what dispensationalism preach, and also this Ribera, okay, Francisco Ribera. Same thing. And so we need to be careful. When the Antichrist put himself in the church, is in the true church. In the temple of God, it's the church. Period. So many people say, well, if he sets himself in the temple of God, then he has to rebuild the temple. The temple has to be rebuilt. No. The true temple of God is being built right now by Jesus. And again, if you're not a follower, a true follower of Christ, you don't know that. Because then you don't study your Bible. You don't know Paul. So many people don't know Paul. They don't know Paul. So now we have two true really true antichrists, really, if we want to say that, because the true antichrist of the Bible, we go to 1st and 2nd John and find the definition of true antichrist. Antichrist is not plural. It's not singular, it's plural. So there's many antichrists. It's not only one coming at the end. And I think there's a slight mistranslations in the Bible that misleads us to believe. Of course, we already got that in our brain that there's only one. But if you read 1st and 2nd John, 1st John and 2nd John, you know the definition. It's everybody who rejects Jesus coming as God in the flesh. That's Antichrist. That's everybody that rejects him. Jews are Antichrist. Okay? So again, we have the real Antichrist in the Bible that has nothing to do with the man of sin, has nothing to do with Babylon the Great, has nothing to do with the little horn. And then we have this counterfeit Antichrist that the world or the dispensationalism deems as Antichrist or define him as Antichrist, and that's this world ruler. And of course that was the idea of Satan, to mislead people. And people are deceived. There will be no Antichrist of the Bible. If anybody comes like an end times ruler, they have to be, if they're biblical, they have to be shown in the Bible as an end times whatever. There is no end times. How many people, how many end times players do we have? We have the beast out of the sea in Revelation 13. We have the beast out of the earth. And I believe in my last video I said clearly that the beast out of the earth is the USA. That beast out of the earth is also the false prophet. We can do a study and you can find it. So they're both the same. Those are two end times players, but they are not a single person. A beast is always an empire, not with one ruler, but with many. And then on the first beast, there are horns. And the horns symbolize kingdoms. The first beast is Europe with the different kingdoms. But in combination, Europe, the Holy Roman Empire, was really an empire. One of them always was an empire. And then we have the second beast in Revelation 13. Guess who that is? Think, what other empire came out of this whole thing with the first empire kind of almost being wounded? First empire, right? The beast out of the sea was wounded. And who came instead? Or who not replaced it, but nourished it back? People, it is not rocket science. I again had somebody just telling me stories, made up stories. Who this Antichrist is not even in the Bible as an end times ruler. But oh no, he knew it. He knew exactly where it came from, out of Damascus, and who knows. Nonsense. Nonsense. So we have this beast out of the sea. It's Europe. It's been healed now. It's Europe. And then the beast out of the earth can only be the United States, because it's the only empire right now. And those two beasts have a contract called NATO. And please, I have so many people. I read comments sometimes of these videos. People have no idea about NATO. Blabbering. Oh, get out of NATO. Who do you think is the leader of NATO? The United States. And do you know what? If the United States would get out of the NATO, they wouldn't have somebody who does their dirty work anymore. Do you understand that? United States starts wars and then pulls all the other NATO people into it. Yeah, believe me, that's what they do. NATO doesn't start wars. Who started the Ukraine war? It wasn't England even. It wasn't anybody else in Europe. It was the United States. And they pulled all the other NATO allies into it. And then expect them to pay the bill. Or to send the troops. This is what's going on. The beast out of the sea and the beast out of the earth have together. Okay? They're allies. It can't be any other way. There is no gap in these beasts. When you look at Daniel 7, there is one beast after another. Babylon, Persian, Greek, Greece, Roman. Roman Empire turned into the Holy Roman Empire. And it will last all the way until Jesus returns. But see, this Holy Roman Empire was hurt. Had a head wound. And that's why the next empire out of the earth jumped in, became an empire. That is the U.S. Just look at Trump right now. He thinks he is king of the world. He thinks he has everything under control, or wants to have everything under control. Does Putin do that? The Chinese guy do that? No, they don't. No, they don't. So the United States is that beast out of the earth. The false prophet. So every president, since it became a beast, is now part of the false prophet. Trump right now, it doesn't matter whether it's Biden or Trump, it's the false prophet. And who are they bowing down to? The dragon. Who is the dragon? The dragon is Satan. No doubt in my mind, people. It's Satan. Fallen angels. They're liars because Satan is a liar. They're children of Satan, so they're children of a liar. So they lie. They're deceivers. Another thing that I've been noticing is people still think the deep state has something to do with the Democrats. Oh, the deep state is trying to prevent Trump to become, president. Deep state this, deep state that. It's only a facade. In my last video, I explained that very clearly. It's only a facade. So you would fall more for the deception. They're all false prophets. It does not matter. Because they're all getting instructions from the dragon. Going back now to the Antichrist. Again, who made up that story with Antichrist? Of course, Satan and his fallen angels. To mislead people. So what are they doing? They're making it look like there's really an Antichrist. Okay? They want to make believe that there's a real Antichrist. And when I look at the world today, who will be the Antichrist today? This Antichrist that the dispensationalists talk about, then it's Trump. Even though Trump is, in biblical terms, the false prophet. Please read the description. The false prophet will, or the beast out of the earth, will implement the mark of the beast. And who is that? It's going to be one of the U.S. presidents. And it's not going to be Biden, because he's out. It's not going to be Kamala Harris, because she's out. Who is in right now and who makes big bop, 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 bop? I am so great. And who is having all these people running after him? So many people deceived. So many people deceived. Well, of course, again, in my last video, I explained it, that they did it on purpose. No, people, the deep state is not the Democrats or Democratic Party or whatever. Yeah, if they're screaming now, I saw again this thing with Kennedy, they're screaming, Warren, I think was it. It's all a show. It's all nothing but a show. Nothing but a show. And we, not me, but many people fall for it. Again, the sheep will fall for it. And again, a lot of people fall for this Antichrist stuff. It's not biblical. It's not in the Bible. I wish people would go to 1st and 2nd John and really read it. And again, it can be confusing because the translator put the word Antichrist in there. Or, no, not but the Antichrist. So it makes it look like there's one Antichrist. But again, in the Greek original text, there are no articles anyways. So it's just simply Antichrist. And it's always plural. But yeah, can people be deceived by this false narrative, dispensational narrative that we are all used to? Oh yeah, this ruler. Yeah, this ruler will come and give the mark of the beast. And people, it looks like it's going to be Trump. Looks like it's going to be Trump, maybe in connection with Elon Musk. Who knows what they're planning? I heard many people writing about the Stargate project and how that can maybe even tie into this stuff. And he is going to push it. I think it's Stargate project. People were living in very dangerous times, and we need to wake up. The deception is very strong, and if we're not careful, which I have talked about so many times, they're going to fall for it. Most people will fall for it. Again, I have said so many times, The churches will be full of people after the rapture. Full of people. And they all will be deceived. They will all be deceived. Very few will realize what happened. Very few. Yeah, I wanted to make this video because I made so many videos. If you go under playlist, Antichrist, I think Antichrist is one of them. And of course, Dispensationalism is another one. Go there and check out my videos. They're all biblical videos. I'll prove it in the Bible. All these things. Also, again, you want other studies? I used to have a Facebook group, but Facebook just totally blocked me. So what I'm doing right now, if I find any videos on YouTube, very good videos, I put them on my playlist, and I think it's usually like history, politics. That's why I put them. I think some of them is watch later. I have, for instance, I have a, oh boy, I don't know why that is. I have a German one on there. Oh no, that's my German videos. Okay, I'm looking at my German playlists. So that's not going to help me. Trying to get to my American ones. Alright, here we go. Playlist. Hello. Yeah. I have climating. I put climating. It's climate change. I suppose climate. Politics. So look at my playlists, and there's some very good videos from other sources as well on there. Specific things. So, anyways, I'm coming to an end. Thank you again for praying for me and my daughter. She is going back to work now, and very thankful, very, very thankful that she's doing better. She's definitely not over it. I'm not over it. But it's getting better. Challenges seem to be still coming. I think Satan is very active right now in bringing his enemies down. So, yes, I'm coming to an end. Let the Holy Spirit guide you always.